Hey everyone, Lewis aka Spider-Man 1991 here, where I'm going to give you another graphic novel review. To this video, I'm going to be talking about Invincible Iron Man Volume 1 Reboot by Brian Michael Bendis. 8 months after the event known as Secret War, Tony builds a new suit of armor that apparently changes shape according to whatever situation he's in, and he also equips it with a new AI known as Friday, because Marvel wants their comics to be more like their movies. Friday informs Tony that Madame Mask has just broken into the ruins of Castle Doom. So Tony goes to let Barry investigate, where he meets Dr. Doom, who now has his face fully healed as a result of the end of Secret Wars. And he decides to help Tony, informing him that Madame Mask stole a decoy, fake wand of Watum that apparently Doom required, and he gives the real one to Tony as a sign of good faith, believing that he and Tony are going to work again in the future. Tony is of course resistant to this. However, he later finds out that Madame Mask is actually possessed by a demon. And Tony and Doom find Madame Mask at Mary Jane Watson's new nightclub in Chicago, and they're able to fight her and subdue her, and Doom fully exorcises the demon from her. 3 days later, at the end of the story, 3 days later, Tony offers Mary Jane a job to work for him to make up for destroying her nightclub. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The entire story arc. I gotta be honest, this was actually very good. Brian Michael Bendis, he's not really one of my favorite writers. I don't really read a lot of his stuff unless some people say it's like really, really good. Some examples include his run on Daredevil and Alias, and those stories have been pretty dark, but to be honest, this was a good story, and Bendis did a good job delivering something that's a bit more lighthearted and fun and funny. I mean, there were a number of humorous moments in this story. My favorite being when Tony speaks to Doctor Strange Tony talks to Doctor Strange, and he says that the two of them are awesome facial hair bros. I love that scene, and I really want to be in Infinity War. And later, Doctor Strange does kind of humor Tony, saying, "I had to help. We're awesome facial hair bros." Seriously, I really want to see Robert Downey Jr. and Benedict Cumberbatch recreate that scene in one of the movies. That would be so great. But yeah, overall, the story had a pretty good, pretty lighthearted, fun feeling to it, and I think that really does suit Iron Man a lot, especially given the nature of Tony's character, how he's brilliant, and at times Tony can be pretty funny and sarcastic and pretty laid back, and also like, "Hey, I got this. Don't worry." It really does fit with Iron Man's character. Speaking of which, another major thing that Bendis did was include Mary Jane Watson and kind of set her up to become a new member in Iron Man's supporting cast. That is definitely a major shakeup, especially given how Mary Jane is basically Spider-Man's ex-girlfriend, and I'm pretty sure people all know her as Spider-Man's girlfriend and are just like, "Wait, what? Why is she with Tony?" I'm pretty sure there might not be anything romantic between them, but this is still a fun major shakeup, and I think it does have a lot of potential, especially when you take a character that's so well known in one major hero's supporting cast and then put her in another hero's major supporting cast. I think that is definitely a good shakeup and definitely a good way to keep things fresh. Also, Tony's new armor, pretty impressive. It's pretty strange how basically it's completely adaptable in that it can pretty much change its shape and recreate weapons into whatever Tony needs and whatever situation he needs. So I like that a lot. So overall, I think if you're someone who's still relatively new to comics, I think you should definitely pick this book up, because to be honest, it also feels like a very fresh start, like very clean slate. You can just pick this up and not have to read anything before this in order to understand what's going on. I mean, the only thing that I think some people will just be confused by is why Dr. Doom's face is healed, and you can just ask anyone you know who reads comics, why is Dr. Doom's face healed, and they'll just explain that, oh yeah, that happened at the end of Secret Wars when reality was put back together. I mean, so really, if you're someone still new to comics, or if you're someone who hasn't read Iron Man in a while, then I would definitely recommend picking this up and giving you a fresh start with the character. Alright, that's it for me. Thank you again for watching another one of my videos. If you want, you can check out some of my other graphic novel reviews on my channel. I also have a ton of other videos where I talk about other stuff. Thanks again for subscribing to my channel, whether you're an old subscriber or a new subscriber. I appreciate your support. I'm Spider-Man 1991 saying, see you later.